All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. And today on the show, we are going through the law of success. I think it's our third episode, and we'll be talking about definite chief aim. Earlier, I was calling it definite major purpose, definite major goal. I was calling that in the mastermind episode. Looking at the book again, Napoleon Hill calls it a definite chief aim. And I want to start out with first, what is it? What is a definite chief aim? We talked about it a little bit earlier, and it's just that thing in your life that is what you're going after, kind of your dominating thought, which is something I think Napoleon Hill talks about a bit later in the book. But definite chief aim, very simple. That goal in life, that thing that you are aiming for, it is definite, it is clear, it is the main thing, and it is your aim. You are aiming at it. And he starts this chapter with a quote that says, "You can do it if you believe you can." I think that's really important because we went over the power of thought power in the first episode of this series. Posted a while back. I don't know how the episodes are scheduled out. I'm recording this in January, actually. Um, but yeah, so we went over thought power, and he's saying you can do it if you believe you can. And that's the first thing that I want to really get in y'all's head when you're thinking of your definite chief aim. Do not limit yourself when you are going after your goals. And it's something I'm guilty of. It's something a lot of us are guilty of. So do not limit yourself when you're writing down the things that you want to happen in your life. Awesome. Well, going a little bit more into definite chief aim, Napoleon Hill, I'm coming straight out the book here. He talks about no position in life can be secure, and no achievement can be permanent unless built upon truth and justice. So this is something that I didn't even get from this book. I just believe it to be true. We're all put here for a reason. And I think that reason is inherently connected to serving other people and being a good force in the world. Like, we're here to be the light of the world, salt of the earth, like to pour and speak life into existence. Like, I firmly believe that is true. And Napoleon Hill is kind of resonating with me here when he says it has to be built upon truth and justice. And so your definite chief aim, think about the things that you're doing in life. Or is it built upon truth and justice? If not, you're probably not fully in touch with who you are and who you're meant to be. So obviously, I'm just one guy. So take that for what it is. But he also talks about the law of autosuggestion, which is kind of just getting it in your head, like getting it through and through and through of like, this is my definite chief aim. So one of my definite chief aims right now is to get 20 coaching clients and replace my W-2. And if that's my definite chief aim, I need to use the law of autosuggestion to get it in my head. And, a lot of people are like, okay, well, how do you get thoughts cemented in your head? How do you get habits cemented in your head? You think them and you do them. Like, that is it. And so here, Napoleon Hill talks about having your definite chief aim, like write it down. It needs to be deliberately fixed in your mind and held there with the determination to realize it. And that finally saturates the entire subconscious mind until it automatically influences the physical action of the body towards the attainment of that purpose. And so you need to get it in your mind, hold it there, have the determination to realize it, and then that done over and over and over again will really start to push you to do the action. And I've kind of filled out a limiting belief sheet, and a lot of us have these limiting beliefs. And then I think we also can change our limiting beliefs to abundant beliefs. And I use this principle of autosuggestion, which I'm sure is really talked about way throughout the book. And I'm just getting like it on a page or two. So maybe we'll have to do a podcast on autosuggestion. Thank you guys for that idea. Awesome. But yeah, you can use autosuggestion where it's basically holding it in your mind, reinforcing it in your mind, and having the determination to go after it and like speaking it into existence. Like affirmations and law of attraction, like that stuff isn't fake. Like we talked about thought power, it's all coming back to our thoughts, all coming back to our actions. So think it, do it every day, consistently, intentionally, and you'll really start to see it change your life. So that's what a definite chief aim is. You have a goal and you get that goal cemented in your life or your head, and it's a goal based on truth and justice, really connected to who you are. Remember the last podcast and the last success series, I talked a lot about identify that purpose, identify that genius zone, and really draft out your ideal day. Create a definite chief aim that's in line with those three things. And when you do that, you can start to take action and start to get those thoughts cemented in your head, and you'll naturally get closer and closer to taking the actions that you need to take. And so where has it shown up in my life? Very, very key example. It was the same example I did with Thought Power. I woke up with definite chief aim of getting 2 meetings for my job because I was behind on my quotas, and I got 2 meetings that day. And I did the same thing the next day, and that whole month I'd gotten like 0 meetings, and it's because I wasn't waking up with a definite chief aim those other days to get 2 meetings. But today I did, because I didn't really want to go through the extra training that I would have had to do if I did not get those meetings. So I got the meetings, right? And that's where it has shown up in my life. I think other places that has shown up in my life, I was like, I'm going to do IB, which is a kind of a advanced academic program in high school. And I said, I'm going to do IB in football because people told me I couldn't. I'm going to succeed when I do it. In high school, I graduated 11th in my class and finished varsity football, got recruited to Davidson College, right? Ended up quitting at Davidson really early, as everybody knows, but it's because I had definitely chief aim in high school that didn't apply to college. I hadn't thought further than high school, and I succeeded in my goal. And what I want to ask you guys is, think about the definite chief aims you have in your life. Like, a lot of people are like, I'm going to get a job after I graduate that gets me $50,000 a year. You probably did it successfully, right? How many people have a definite chief aim of making $1 billion, of impacting 1 billion people, of spreading the gospel to 1 billion people? Like, how many people have definite chief aims that are big? A good book for that, 10X Rule, Magic of Thinking Big. Y'all should read those books. However, we're on definite chief aim. That's where it's shown up in my life. Where do I want it to show up in my life? My definite chief aim: 20 coaching clients, financial freedom for myself and my family, ending poverty around the world. Those are my kind of 3 goals. And first is cash flow and replacing my W-2. After that, it's investing all the excess income that I get from my businesses, whether that be the coaching business, the real estate business, day trading with my brother Theo, investing all that excess income, creating that generational wealth, and then using that time freedom that I've given myself from investing well, spending well, and earning well to end poverty around the world. Also, I will have developed a certain resourcefulness on the come up, and I'll use that to end poverty as well. So those are my definite chief aims. That's how I want to see it come out and come to fruition in my life. Other things, the peace of Christ, like really pursuing that is a definite chief aim for me, and like really like getting it into my soul and into my heart, and experiencing that peace. It's kind of talked about in The Power of Now, like being in that just place where your heart isn't troubled or afraid. So yeah, that's where I want it to show up in my life, in those places. And how can you apply it to your life? Well, I really, really love helping people. And I've created 3 documents to help you do this. Workwithtimmydouglas.com. Contact me. I'll get you those documents, and get clear on what you want. Get clear on how you were uniquely put on this planet to serve, and to get to the point where you are acting in accordance with producing truth and justice in the world. And when you get in touch with that part of yourself, write it down and get it in your head through auto-suggestion. Keep it there. Create an environment that keeps it there. And I have a document for that too, so contact me if you want that. But those are the things that you got to do to really get that definite chief aim in your life and get moving towards it. So thank you guys for listening. I love coming on the show and getting to share this with you. You know, at first I started this podcast just to interview people about their dreams and goals, but it's really cool getting to talk about the stuff that I'm learning and some of the stuff that I love. And so if there are any books and quotes and stuff that you want me to go through, send them my way, and I'd love to do that. But I love talking to you guys like this. Hope you're having a blessed day. Thank you guys so much for listening to the show. As we always ask, send this podcast to 1 to 3 people you know need to hear this message, need to get that definite chief aim in their life. Contact me at workwithtimmydouglas.com. And on that note, we're out.